Hello, welcome to the first episode of what I will call dumpster diving. Um, I do this a lot already, but I have never really record the process that I go through to trying to find potential stocks to buy. But why not? Let's go through this process together and see going forward if we can find something good and if the analysis is decent and we can find some good bargains that can yield great returns down the road, right? For sure, we all know that the Chinese stock last year was very challenging for those that traded Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, you name it. They all have suffered. Um, and on the screen, you see the Hang Seng Index. That's the equivalent of the Dow Jones, S&P 500 for us, but for the Chinese market. That's an ugly looking chart. You can see a trend, a down channel. Looked like it bottomed out um, 2 weeks ago. But if you peel back 3 years, it's pretty ugly. Okay, it's hard to believe that that's what the Chinese stock market looked like in the past 3 years. And if you go to pandemic, I mean, it's hard to believe that it's lower than the pandemic low. So if we pan back 5 years, just to show you how bad this market has been. Yeah, that's ugly. Okay, that's an that's an extremely ugly looking chart going back 5 years. It's can we test the worst of last year? Hard to say. Okay, when China reopened, right? Things was so bad. China reopened, everyone piled in, thinking that hey, they reopened, growth is returning, and it did not. Okay, so you get that nasty slide, and that's also result in the nasty slide in energy, because when economy is weak, doesn't matter if it's China or the US, consumption of energy decline. It is that plain and simple. When economy is weak, factory is not operating at full capacity, people are not driving to work as much, use of oil and gas dropped. Okay, that's not a surprise that the demand for energy has been weak all of last year. Um, and no surprise that many Chinese stocks suffer. That being said, is it time? Is it time to buy Chinese stock? Because yes, the economy is in a recession. They are starting or have been doing some stimulus. They're trying to boost the economy. It's not really working yet, but is it time? My belief is, unfortunately, it is not time yet. That's the key word. The problem that I have, even though I like um, the chart pattern on many stock, whether it's the Hang Seng Index. Let's take a look at the popular one, BABA. Okay, BABA, ugly. There's a zone here for BABA. The zone that used to be support, and now it could be resistant. Okay, so I would not be buying BABA today or this week. Um, but it's definitely a watch. I have traded BABA puts for most of the last 3 months with good success. All right, thankfully, uh, I escaped. I was trading BABA options, selling puts in the mid 70s or low 70s. before this crater. And then when this came down, I think the highest put spread that I saw was a 69 strike. So thankfully, I escaped any damage with Baba this past. I had Baba share. Thankfully, I saw on this up move here. For those that follow me long enough, I mentioned it a few times in the chat group. Yeah, I was very happy to get rid of my Baba share here. Okay, but yeah, only the share. No, uh, even with all the news about the split, all that stuff, I didn't buy into it because I was watching the Chinese market. But so that's one. The other one is of course Baidu, right? Baidu. Would I buy it here? No. No. Would I buy in the gray zone here? Maybe, right? But for now, no. It's a no touch for me, all right? And then the one that I do own, extremely speculative. Like, let me repeat, extreme speculative is Melco, the casino. Okay, you have here. It's in the zone of resistance. I'm watching it. I was tempted many times this past 2 weeks to trim. Very tempted. But it was a small position, a speculative position. I said, why not? Let's ride it. Let's ride it to see if we can get into that 10, 11 range. But this right here is key. Okay, if you go back 2 years, let's go back 2 years and see. Yeah, I draw in that zone. Okay, it was support, break it, and then it spent, gosh, 9 months in purgatory to break out. All right, but then the weak Chinese economy. Well, guess what? Yeah, it's not good. But the weak Chinese economy doesn't bode well for uh, Melco, even though it is recovering. Right, it is. You're talking about a company that I think have a lot of potential for big gains. Okay, Melco was a very profitable casino. Right, look, it was making money until the pandemic. Not a surprise, right? And then it has been losing a lot of money. But as you can see, it's getting very close to breaking even again. So do I see Melco returning to the limelight of the mid 20s someday? Yeah, I do. I do. Okay, I do. Just not 2024. I don't imagine Melco, but I like it enough, and the position is small enough that I think I can roll the dice and let it ride long term. I debated, trust me, I debated endlessly for the past 2 weeks. Should I trim some? Maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. But as you can see, the loss is getting smaller and smaller, right? And sure, it might be around break even or making little money for the next 6 to 9 months because the weak Chinese economy. But out of many Chinese stock, I would put Melco as my top of the list. Here is a reason. Part of the reason translate into our economy. Okay, first off, when it comes down to sin stock, tobacco, alcohol, gambling, casino, those tend to weather a recession better than the rest. Okay, people will give up a lot of things: traveling, new car, fancy restaurant. They will give up a lot of fancy things, but they're not going to give up their cigarettes, their booze, their bad habits. Okay, and gambling is one of them. Sure, less people will gamble, but compared to buying luxury items, a lot more people would start buying Gucci bags and Prada bags in China and BMW and Mercedes. Okay, the same with the U.S. You know, if you go and take a look at the U.S. stock as far as casino, they tend to weather the recession better. It's not a surprise if you follow the history of all the sectors and how they behave with the bad economy. Um, but so when you look at like the Chinese stock, sure, the Chinese economy is in sad shape, recession, but the problem with the Chinese economy and their stocks is the US economy. If we are going into a recession sometime in 2024, how does that help China? If anything, it will keep a lid on the Chinese economy. Okay, it's we consume a lot. We buy a lot of stuff from China. We manufacture a lot from China. So if we have a weaker economy here, certainly it's not going to help them to improve from the weakest state that they're in right now, right? So that's the concern I have with the Alibaba, the Baidu, less so with the Melco, right? It's still not something I can be super bullish on, but to me, when I dig through the rubble of Chinese stocks right now, it's hard to be so bullish on Alibaba or Baidu. I'm more bullish on Melco because I think it would be less impact by the weak U.S. economy of 2024. But still, it's not a position. It's not a position that I would fully put in a ton of money, right? So as far as for those that want uh, to dabble in it, I think you have time. Okay, KWEB is their ETF. Um, if you want to own a basket of Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, and a whole bunch of other stuff, you can. I have traded KWEB a few times over the years, but as you can see, it's pretty ugly. Okay, it's a pretty ugly looking chart, and if you go look at that thing, jeez, right? That's just nasty. That's just 3 years, super nasty. Um, it resembles a lot of the Chinese stock, and but it is near. Okay, would I dabble into KWEB? Sure. If I see 26, okay, 26 and below is worth a trade. Okay, so let me put an alert there. Okay, so I'm not gonna be keen on going big there, but I'll put an alert. Put an alert for below. I'm gonna call it dumpster diving. Dumpster diving time. Yeah, if that alert go off, I would mind looking at option play for KWEB, right? Um, let's go through and put in some alert. Now, if there's a breakout, okay, of Melco, let's put an alert there. Breakout out of the zone, okay, over the 100 MA. Even though I don't think the 100 MA is, sure, it is no doubt a resistant, right? See, reject once, reject cleanly twice. So we'll see. We'll see. Why is there reject there? If we go back to what I talk about many times, right? You don't need a gap down to have some kind of major resistance or major support. Okay, what happened is you have a long run, a lot of people seeing this gray zone here, going back multiple years, right? Imagine if you went through this and suffer through this, and then breathe a sign of relief here, only to see this happen again. You think you're gonna have the stomach to hang around like you did for 9, 10 months here? No, you want to GTFO, get the F out, right? So yeah, it's psychology, right? So clearing that would be a huge task, okay? Because it would absorb all the people that want to throw up their hands and say, I don't care. I don't care about the Chinese economy. I don't care about the future. I had enough, okay? So you want those to finish selling. You want those to say, I had enough. After 2 years of this, I had enough. Get me out. And then you can see more sustainable up move. Okay, so yeah, that's so. Let's go to Baba to see if we can put in some kind of alert. Baba. Okay, same thing here. You got this major overhang coming up, right? So I'm seeing major problem here, right? I don't. It will be tough. We'll see how Baba weathered the gray zone. Okay, this gray zone is let's go back. Let's go back 3 years. Okay, you see this? A lot of people are trapped for 2 years. Okay, above that line, that gray zone. Yes, it has dipped below for maybe 2 months before, but as you know, that's where the China reopened the market, right? The economy. So you get that rebound, and then you get that, oh no, the economy is bad. And then you get, of course, the announcement of the spin off of the company into multiple pieces, and it gave it a little boost, but no. So yeah, you have a lot of people are trapped here for the past 2 years. Okay, so I do not expect this right here to be greeted warmly. It can prove me wrong. Okay, we'll see what happened in the next few weeks when you get in there and see if it can break out. Hey, I can be wrong, but for now, my expectation is that this is going to be one ugly zone of sellers coming in. So we'll see. And then, of course, last one, Baidu. When I talk about it, to me, it's a nothing burger. I'm not going to even care. But I'm going to put in an alert right here, right at above the gray zone. Below. Dumpster diving time. Yeah, I would buy in the gray zone. The reason why I tend to be more cautious and more patient with the Chinese stocks is just what I said earlier in the video. If our economy is going to get weaker in the next 3 to 6 months, how would that help China? Right? How? How? I don't know how. Last but not least, before I go, is everyone favorite for a long time, NIO. Oh, I thought this was garbage forever. I avoid bringing this stock up forever. It's garbage, okay? No. This line right here, major support for a while, and then become resistant, and then of course it get that bump, and then now it's avoid. Okay, I can't say enough about how it's if you have it, I hope you hey, if you bought it down here, yeah, trim. Can it get to the 14, 15 range? Close the gap at 14? That's wishful thinking, right? But hey, when you're talking about garbage stocks that can move 100%, look at that, 7 to 16. Yeah, there is, like I said, it's crazy, right? So good luck to you if you want to trade NIO. It's not for me. Okay, it's nothing here that I care. And that's it. Thank you for watching. And hopefully in the future, if I go through another session of digging through the garbage to see if it's anything good to buy, I will record it. Have a good 2024.